Standard 3rd, Subject English. Topic: There is the key of the kingdom. Student, today we are going to learn an interesting topic. So let's begin. So student, before starting our today's topic, I would like to ask you a few questions. So my first question is, have you heard any funny story recently? Give me the answer, student. Yes. Okay, student. So many of you have heard or read funny stories and you have enjoyed it, correct? My next question is, which is the funniest story you have ever heard? Yes. Here, student, you have to give me the name. Okay. So, student, the story like Akbar and Birbal, they are funny and also interesting. So, our today's topic, that is, there is a key of the kingdom, is a funny poem. So, let's start. So, the name of our today's topic is lesson number 21. There is the key of the kingdom. So, student, this is a poem. Now student, I am going to recite the poem and you have to listen to carefully. Have you understood, student? So, the poem is, there is the key of the kingdom. In that kingdom, there is a city. In that city, there is a town. In that town, there is a street. In that street, there is a lane. In that lane, there is a yard. In that yard, there is a house. In that house, there is a room. In that room, there is a bed. On that bed, there is a basket. In that basket, there are some flowers. So student, here I have completed my first stanza. Now let's see this next one. Flowers in the basket, basket on the bed, bed in the room, room in the house, house in the yard, yard in the lane, lane in the street, street in the town, town in the city, city in the kingdom, and this is the key of the kingdom. Now I am going to explain you the poem. Listen carefully. So the first sentence is, there is the key of the kingdom. So student, in this poem, the poet talks about a key which belong to a kingdom. Student, kingdom means a country, state ruled by a king or queen. In that kingdom, there is a city. So student, now poet is saying about what is there in the kingdom. So in the kingdom, there is a city. So student, city is a large town. So kingdom is bigger than city and city is smaller than kingdom. So we are going towards bigger to smaller. Have you understood, student? In that city, there is a town. So student, town is smaller than city and city is bigger than town. So again here we are going from bigger to smaller. In that town, there is a street. So student, town is bigger than street and street is smaller than town. So here again we are going from bigger to smaller, from town to street. In that street, there is a lane. So student, in the street is bigger than lane. And student, lane means smaller or narrow road, okay, which is attached to main road. So street is the main road. and street is bigger than lane and lane is smaller than street. Have you understood, student? In that lane there is a yard. So student, in that lane there is so many yards are there and lane is bigger than yard. And what is lane, students? Lane is a narrow road, okay, which attached to a main road. In that yard there is a house. So student, here also yard is bigger than house and house is smaller than yard. And student, yard, what do you mean by yard? Yard is the ground immediately surrounding a house that are usually covered with grass. Have you understood, student? In that house there is a room. So student, house is made with lot of rooms and room is smaller than house. In your house also, students, there are rooms. Yes. In that room there is a bed. So student, here room is bigger than bed and bed is smaller than room. Again from bigger to smaller. In that bed there is a basket. So student, bed is bigger than basket and basket is smaller than bed. And student, where is the basket? The basket is on the bed. In that basket there are some flowers. So student, here also basket is bigger than flowers. And here first poet is moving from biggest to smallest, like kingdom to flower. Now poet goes in reverse order from smaller to bigger. Have you understood, student? Let's see how. Flower in the basket, basket on the bed. So student, here flower is smaller than basket and in the next basket on the bed. So here also basket is smaller than the bed. So student, now the poet is going in reverse order from small to big. Okay. Bed in the room, room in the house. Now student, here the bed is smaller than room and in second sentence the room is smaller than house. So here the order is also going in reverse way. Okay, so from smaller to bigger. House in the yard, yard in the lane. So here house is smaller than yard and in the next sentence yard is smaller than lane. So student, here yard is smaller than lane. Lane in the street, street in the town. So student, here lane is smaller than street because street is bigger. So lane is smaller than street. And in the next sentence, students, street is smaller than town because town is bigger. So in the next sentence, street is smaller than town. Town in the city and city in the kingdom. So student, here also town is smaller than city and in the next sentence city is smaller than kingdom because kingdom is big and city is small. So city is smaller than kingdom. So student, first poet is moving from biggest to smallest, like kingdom to flower, and now the poet in the second para, the poet goes in reverse order from smaller to bigger, like from flower to kingdom. And this is the key of the kingdom. Student, you can see on the screen there is a key and that key is the key of a kingdom. There is the key of the kingdom. So student, in this poem, the poet takes us on a small journey from the biggest thing to the smallest, and the smallest to the biggest. He starts with the key to the kingdom and ends with the key to the kingdom. This is a fun poem, student, meant for children to read aloud and enjoy. Hope you all also enjoyed this poem, isn't it, student? Now, list all the things mentioned in the poem in two ways. So, student, here we have to list the thing in two ways. Two ways means like from the smallest to the biggest. So, we have to start from the smallest and we have to end to the biggest one. So, here the smallest thing in this poem is flower, correct? So then flower, then basket, bed, room, house, then yard, lane, street. After street, town is there, city, and at last kingdom. So here we are going from smaller to the bigger one. Okay, now let's see the next one. Now we will form this from the biggest to the smallest one. Okay, so the answer is, first we will write kingdom, then city, then town. After town, what will come, student? Street, correct. Then lane, yard, house. And what is there in the house? Rooms. Rooms. Then what is there in the rooms? There is a bed. Yes, bed. Then basket. And on the basket there is some flowers. So flower is the last word. So here we have gone from biggest to the smallest one. So here we have list the thing from in two ways. First we have done from the smallest to the biggest, and in second we have done from the biggest to the smallest. Have you understood, student? Now put the following chain in the proper order. So student, here we have to start from the smallest or the biggest. So let's start from the smallest one. So the question is shirt, car, man, pocket, highway and pen. So in this, what will be the first one? Yes, correct, student. Pen. Pen is smaller. So first pen will come, then pocket, and then where is the pocket? In the shirt. Yes, then man is bigger, then car, and at the last highway. So here we are going from smallest to biggest. Okay, now the second one is seats, container, house, kitchen, dried chili. So here, student, let's see what will come first. Okay, so if we are doing this from smallest, so seeds will come first. So seeds, then dried chili, after that container, then kitchen, and where is the kitchen? In the house. So here also we have done from smallest to biggest. Have you understood, student? Now let's see the third one, that is letter, word, book, shop, story, storybook, paragraph, sentence. So student, here the smallest is, think and say what is the smallest one? Yes, correct, letter. Letter will come first, then after letter word, then sentence, after sentence paragraph, story, storybooks, and at last book, shop. Correct, student. Now the fourth one you have to do on your own, that is tail, then hair, then mountain, then cave, and then bear. Okay, So it's depend on you if you want to do from smallest to biggest or biggest to smaller. Okay, have you understood, student? And the next homework is grain of corn, then field, plant, stalk, ear of corn. So student, here stalk means stem. Okay, now you have to arrange it in smaller or in bigger order. Okay, have you understood, student? Read the instructions and write other words related to the given word. So the first one is kingdom. Write other word that begins with K. So what you have to do here, student? You have to write the words which begins with K. So kite, kitchen, kind, king, kitten, key, kingdom, knife, and many more. Okay, student. Now, the second one is city. Now, here what you have to do? Here you have to list the occupations of people in a city. So, what are the occupation of the people? Okay, in the city, what they are doing, like teachers are there, doctors, cobbler, tailors, and many more. Okay, have you understood, student? Now, the third one is street. And here what you have to do, write other words with a similar meaning. So what do you mean by street, student? First I will tell you the meaning of street. Street means a public road in a city, town or village. Typically with houses and buildings on one or both side. Okay, student. So here you have to write the similar meanings. So the meaning I have written over here is way, highway, path, road. Okay, student. Now the next one is yard. Now here what we have to do, here we have to mention different location from the yard of a house. So where is the yard? So the answer is front yard and backyard. Okay. Now here student, you have to make meaningful words by joining this word bad to the words given here. So the word which is given here is bug, room, sheet, time. So student, here you have to join bed and you have to write the word. Okay. Now the second work is write the names of different kinds of flowers. Here you have to write the names of different kinds of flowers. Have you understood, student? Thank you, student. Hope you enjoyed this poem.